Hello and welcome to Clock Spinning, the podcast of Magic history as told card by card. I'm Austin, and with me, as always, is my co-host Connor. And Connor, we got something a little bit different today, don't we?
We sure do. We are trying something a little different, a little more loosey goosey than most of what we put out there in the past. As you may have guessed from the booster pack next to Austin's head, we are just going to crack open a single pack of an old set, in this case, Ravnica City of Guilds.
An expert
We
level
don't know
set,
what's in it.
as you can see from
Expert
the
level set.
foil. Yep.
Yes, yes.
We are an expert
Uh,
level analysis podcast, so it should be okay. We'll try to keep it accessible though for everyone.
right, right. I mean, we're not gonna crack open some baby level pack
No
on here.
Portal Three Kingdoms here
No,
today.
that one's off limits. Other old stuff we'll consider. Yep. So we don't know what's going to be in this pack. We're just going to open it up and go through all 15 cards in there and just kind of talk about them on vibes.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. The idea here is it's like we just started a Discord call, which is pretty much what we've done, and you're joining us. This is kind of the sort of thing we do anyway, so we might as well get you all
Yeah.
dealt into it.
Yeah.
And we'll still do other stuff. We'll still do the high fidelity stuff. And actually, our next episode will be something I think pretty interesting and high fidelity. But you'll just have to wait for that. Connor, are you ready to crack this thing?
Let's do it. Let's open it up.
Who's looking at the first card? We didn't even talk about that.
Oh, I'll take the first one.
All right. That means you get the rare too. All right,
Oh,
take it away. What are we looking at?
okay. This is Peel from Reality. It's one in a U for an instant. Says return target creature you control and target creature you don't control to their owner's hands. It's kind of cool. It's like a, reciprocal bounce spell. I could see this being sort of fun to use in a draft deck.
Yeah, and I feel like in I don't remember original Ravnica all the guild themes, but I know Azorius had like a reveal this card from your hand, so there's a little bit of synergy. I feel like the idea here at least is you're doing some interesting synergistic things, right, where your creature wants to come back to your hand. Now I feel like original Ravnica is a little bit before the like enters the battlefield revolution that we've all lived through in the last 10 to 15 years. So I don't think this is maybe as good as it would be today.
Yeah, it's more like I don't like the first thing that comes to my mind. Maybe this is just because the art suggests this, but it's like you want to cancel out some combat for some reason.
Mm,
Like I
hmm.
don't know, your opponent's swinging with a I guess Simic Skyworm comes a little bit after Ravnica City of Guilds, but they got some big boy swinging at your face, and then you just block it. And you want to cancel out the whole thing or something. But yeah, I think you're right about like ETB effects not being as big of a deal back then.
Now, my memory of this card is that I had many of them, and I always wanted to put it. It always felt like a card that would be good, and yet somehow I never found myself putting it into a single deck.
Yeah, it feels like something that outside of sealed you it feels like there'd almost always be something else you would rather have in your actual constructed deck.
It doesn't feel worth a card to me, right? It's like you're kind of down a card here and down tempo. Like you still have to recast your creature. So it's
Yeah.
like, I don't know, you've paid 2 mana plus your creature's mana value, and they've paid just their creature's mana value. Like you're kind of, I don't know that I feel like I'm winning that exchange.
Yeah. It seems less than ideal.
Yeah, so it's a fun though. It's a fun, unique effect though. It's got a great name, Peel from Reality.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right,
Art's
that's all I
kind of
got
cool.
on this.
All right. Let's move on to yours.
Sundering Vitae. Sundering Vitae is 2 and a G for an instant. It has Convoke, which I'm not going to read, and it says destroy target artifact or enchantment. Flavor text: Centuries of wind, rain, and roots compressed into an instant of destruction. Such is the power of Celestia. So the first thing I noticed about this, well, there's 3 things. There's like 5 or 6 first things I noticed. First thing one, um, is that the art is interesting. It's kind of got the force of will thing going on of the dominant color is not the card's color. So for anyone listening
Hmm.
on the podcast, this is very red art, but it's a green card. And then the watermark is Celestia watermark. So there's a little bit of mixed messaging going on, I think, color wise in this one. I think this is the first, we didn't have a watermark on Peel from reality. And I think watermarks were new in Ravnica. It was one of the innovations was, and I think watermarks were a super clever way to kind of extend the guilds into the monocolored cards. I remember at the time thinking like, genius, who thought of this? Like, what a great idea. And I still think that. This card seems like doo-doo to me. It seems really bad. Paying 3 mana baseline for this is certainly by modern standards laughable.
Yeah. The You're right about the art mismatch. To me, this feels like some kind of like sort of just slush destroy target artifact or enchantment green card
It's
that you could throw on
absolutely like
anything.
there was a line on the spreadsheet that was like green disenchant. That was what the
Yep.
line said with set
Yep.
effect.
Yep. And I like the color scheme is much more, and the overall vibe is much more gruel, but
Yeah.
we'll say it's Celestia, sure. I remember being, I don't know about confused by the watermarks, but like I always thought that there was some significance to them.
Yeah.
Like there was some, rules connotation that I was supposed to pick up on, like, oh, this Sundering Vitae or whatever is a Celestia card. But then the peel from reality is like, it looks like it should be Demir-ish, but it doesn't have the thing on there, so it's not a Demir card. And I almost it felt like that should have some rule significance.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
Yep. But yeah, this seems bad.
This feels like, are you even putting this? You're not even main decking this in your sealed. I like your sealed test of like you're at a pre-release. Does this maybe make the main deck? I don't think this even makes the sealed main deck, let alone constructed. Like how
Yeah.
I feel like this card's been cast like 100 times in the history of Magic.
This feels like it would start in my sealed main deck back in 2000, what was this, 2005?
Yep.
And then I would play a game with it because I'm 13 years old, and then I would have it in my hand for the whole game, and then I would take it out right after that game.
Couldn't back then. Remember, even sealed events, you had to register your deck. You remember that? Basement of the
Oh,
Port
like
Oregon Convention Center, registering your deck. Can't change it.
really?
Yeah.
You don't get a sideboard or anything?
I mean, you could sideboard, but you have to change. You
Yeah,
have to
yeah, yeah.
sideboard back before the next match.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Can't be having
Wow.
those 11-year-olds like sneaking their Sundering Vitaes out of their deck after they lose
No,
0-2
no.
first round.
No, I think that was my best ever pre-release performance though.
Really?
I won like 2 packs. I
Yeah.
want to
Up
say
top.
it. I felt like a total baller.
Oh man. As far as the art itself, it's like it's fine. It's kind of it's giving World of Warcraft for me a little bit.
It is, yeah. Mm,
Hmm. All right, should we move on?
yeah. Okay. Wojek Siren. This is 1 white mana for an instant with Radiance. It says target creature and each other creature that shares a color with it get +1/+1 until end of turn. Flavor text says it is the call to arms, the call to fury, the call to blood. Uh, so Radiance is a keyword I had completely forgotten exist. I guess not really a keyword. What's the term for these types of things
Ability
where it's
word.
like an
Ability word.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I had completely forgotten that this existed as like a Boros associated thing until seeing this card just now, and I can see why it is so boring to me. And this card is so boring to me.
Really? I think this card's really cool. I like this card.
Really? What
Yeah, it's
about
like
it?
how many 1 mana combat tricks go wide? It's like a totally unique effect.
Yeah, I guess so.
I think it's dope.
Go wide with +1/+1, I
Now,
guess.
admittedly, yeah, the thing is you gotta have at least 3 matching creatures just to equal the giant growth like power toughness boost. So that's a little
Yeah,
rough.
yeah, and it's going to be spread out across those 3 creatures.
But if you got like 5 creatures, that's 5 power, 5 toughness. I mean,
Yeah,
for
yeah.
1
This, I mean,
mana.
this is one like this is one where it feels like it should be Celestia, right? That's the guild that's about pumping out a bunch of tokens and going wide. But this
Oh,
is
that's
like,
interesting. Well, but that's the thing.
and
This
it
works
could
in
be a
both. It's
Celestia
white,
thing.
right? But it has the
Yeah,
Boros watermark,
it's white, but it has that Boros watermark that
which
would have
Connor knows means
confused.
you can't play it in your Celestia
That
deck, at
means it's
least
a
not.
Boros card,
Yeah.
Austin.
Yeah.
It's a Boros card, and it needs to be matched with red.
Speaking of this being a Boros card, I love that the art is by Zoltan Boros and Goibor Zsai. But this
That
just
is
being
great.
by an artist named Boros is pretty great.
That is great.
This seems like as good a time as any to mention that original Ravnica, or I guess all Ravnica, the set is meant to be, a lot of Magic sets are like grounded in a particular real world culture, and Ravnica's grounded in kind of like Slavic, Eastern European culture, and Wojek has that sound to it. I think very much. It's
Hmm.
got a kind of like
Oh,
Slavic sound.
interesting.
What's the
Didn't
art
know that.
here? Like if you had to go 0 to 10 scale, would you recommend
Let
this
me
art to a friend?
let me kind of look at it. I'm gonna go with no. I kind of remember this art now. There's like one detail here that always really bothered me,
Hmm.
and it's this guy on the right side of the card who's like charging forward with some two-handed sword,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like shoulder checking this brick wall
Holy cow! I've
and
never
like
noticed that. That's amazing.
busting it down with his huge like pauldron here.
That's
And I
pretty
always
great.
hated that because I was like, what is how is he running through like shoulder checking the wall like that and busting it apart?
I kind of love that. So we talked about the last card kind of giving World of Warcraft. This is like giving Warhammer to me.
Yeah.
Like a lot of pauldrons, a lot of very
Yeah.
wide men,
Yep. Yep. There's a lot of
blood
wide men
soaked feel.
in Warcraft too. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
A lot of blood going on here.
yeah.
These other Wojek people that aren't like shoulder checking walls. They all kind of look like they're piled up on each other too, which
Yeah,
I don't love.
yeah.
Like they're just in this sort of like heap of people,
They
a
set
heaple.
themselves they set themselves a very like ambitious composition here, right? Like they're trying to put three figures in motion around a central stationary figure inside like a 3-inch rectangle, like 2-inch rectangle. That's hard.
Yeah, yeah. It's like they're all squeezing into this alley, and they can't quite all like fit through at the
uh
same time. So this one
uh
guy's like getting pushed into the wall and breaking through it, and then the other guys are just sort of like piling up on each other. It doesn't read power to me.
no. But I like this card. I want to see this card in like a bad peasant cube, like mid 2000s
Mm,
peasant cube.
I could see that. I like that.
I kind of want to make that now.
I
All
think
right,
that'd be
next
cool.
card.
All right.
Oh, hello, Thundersong Trumpeter. R and a W for a creature human soldier. 2/1. Tap. Target creature can't attack or block this turn. And I'll go ahead and read the flavor text. Hear that? Those notes mean we've arrived at Sunhome. Let our allies' hearts soar and our enemies' hearts shatter at the sound. Klatik, Boros Legionnaire. First, that flavor text is amazing. It's kind of like late 90s fantasy RTS or something. Like it's very like
Yeah,
declarative, like da,
it
da,
is.
da. So that's fine. I really like this card though. I don't think it's a good card, but I've always liked the kind of crazy art here of him playing this. It's like I just realized it's a trumpet with like a ring around it, like a multi-ring trumpet with like kind of griffin stuff happening, and there's an
There's a
incense
lot going on
burner,
there.
and this guy's got a crazy like gold crown stapled to his forehead. I don't know. There's a lot going on. Um, and I like it. So thank you, Michael Sutphin, for this. The effect is, I think, okay. I don't think it's an amazing effect, and it's a little like paying two designated mana across two colors for this effect is kind of weak sauce. But for the time, a 2/1 body for 2 is acceptable, and this will like close out some gay. I'm slow talking. I don't think that's quite true. This will maybe affect. It's relevant, I guess, into the late game. If you cast this on 2 and it's outclassed on turn 7 of a limited game, it's still relevant in some way later in the game. It's not a total dead card.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think I would be unhappy to play this onto if I can get to the two different designated mana and have my like Boros mana base on turn 2.
Yeah.
Um, I would be unhappy to play this then, but I think it does have a little bit of like staying power later into the game. Like it has some utility. I normally really like a lot of Michael Sutphin's art. This one, something about the way that all the pieces are put together is off-putting to me. Like you can see this army in the background behind him, like all these Boros
It's
soldiers
very
arriving, but they're just sort
indistinct
of like,
army.
yeah, it's just sort of this blur that could easily be like a field of dead dandelions in
with
in red
with
light.
kind of
Like
two
it's
big
just this,
poops. Two poops
yeah,
on
yeah,
the
There you
Yep.
exactly. It's like a massive flowers with two big conical poops next to a staircase kind of like leading down into nowhere
And a circuit board
and a circuit board.
above the crowd.
Oh, above them. Yeah. There's just it doesn't the pieces are not coming together for me here.
I feel like you also would object to anything that's like pure profile. That seems like something you're not
Yeah.
into
Well,
composition wise.
yeah, that's the thing. It's like it's pure he's like pure profile over this way, and then everything behind is at this angle, like sort of a 45-ish degree, like isometric sort of perspective.
I feel like you should like this though for two reasons. One, it's very Mad Max. This guy is super. He's like a
Okay.
kind of like fancy Mad Max. One, especially his face, and two, I like the lines. Like the kind of it's a very dynamic composition. Like the way that the trumpet kind of cuts across, leads your eye down towards the crowd, as does the angle. But then the crowd comes in at an angle and leads you back to his knee, which leads you back to his body. Like it's a very kind of dynamic. What this is like the sight lines are doing. The sight lines are interesting and dynamic. Like there's an interesting triangle. I don't know. I'm not an art theory person.
Yeah,
This isn't a triangle. This is what you know what I mean.
I'm seeing your triangle. I'm getting lost in all of the where I'm being led here, down his knee and then through the army
Yes.
and then back
Go up
to
his
the
knee,
trumpet.
take a right at his hip, go up the incense, and then loop back around to the gold crown. Then you're gonna do a little U, and then you're gonna hit the trumpet again. You go, whoa, this is like an F1 track that I just described to you.
It. Okay, I hear you. I see the trumpeter, but
You're
as
slow
I look
talking.
at the trumpet, as I'm following the trumpet, as you were describing it, I now see that the trumpet just goes fully into his mouth.
Oh, wait a second. Whoa.
As a high school trumpet player, I could tell you that is not,
yeah, wait
not
a second.
the proper way to play an instrument. So I'm finding that very off-putting. He's fully like eating this trumpet, and that I'm not a big fan of.
Maybe like there was a time, maybe Michael Sutphin went super hard here, and there was a time when we had trumpet-like instruments, but not mouthpieces. Like we hadn't invented the mouthpiece yet.
So you blow into it instead of buzzing.
Yeah, like a shofar. Like that doesn't have a mouthpiece, right? It's just a tube.
I think that's right.
I don't know if you are an expert in ancient instruments or shofar. Let us know in the comments.
Yep, drop it in the comments. All right, let's move on from this.
All right, let's move on.
Nightguard Patrol, 2 and a white for a 2/1 human soldier with first strike and vigilance. I can't stop staring at this art.
The art is so weird on this card. Is he a monkey or does he just have a monkey face?
No, he's just kind of making like a very simian face here.
Are you sure?
Is in a very simian
hands.
Pose.
He's pretty monkey-like. But he's a human. No, he's a human. Never mind. I'm wrong. He's a human.
Yeah, he's a human soldier. I have to like turn to try to look at him properly. This is another Wojek guy. The flavor text: the Wojek defend the laws. We defend the people. Yeah, the angle here is just blowing my mind.
Honestly, there's like nothing about this card.
Yeah,
not even to recommend it. Just there's nothing about this card.
Yeah,
except this angled purple guy.
I have nothing to say beyond this absolutely dizzying angle.
Even the flavor text is just like, I am a cop in the city of Ravnica.
It just says, I am filler.
Yeah. Don't even look at me. Should we just move on? I don't think I have anything interesting about this card.
The next one.
Oh, yes, I love this card. Okay, Bramble Elemental. This is a raw reaction, audience. I did not know this was coming. Bramble Elemental. I actually didn't remember this was in Ravnica. Bramble Elemental, 3 GG, creature elemental, 4/4. Whenever an aura becomes attached to Bramble Elemental, put 2 1/1 green sapperling creature tokens into play. Flavor text: Ravnica is a seamless urban tapestry, each city bleeding into the next. In abandoned corners, however, nature has begun to reclaim what it once owned. Okay, I have so many things to say about this card. One, at this point in my Magic playing life, 5 mana, 4/4, I thought, you know what? That's solid. I'm happy with that. That's bigger than the Wojek Nightguard that we just saw. Two, I think it's fun that this flavor text is the opposite of the last one in that this conveys a lot about Ravnica. It kind of tells you that the whole thing is just a bunch of cities bleeding, but it gives you this idea that like nature isn't totally dead. Like, what would that be like? There's a lot of storytelling, I think, in the flavor text, and then in the art, I don't think this art is like incredibly strong, like execution wise, but it's cool. I just like this like giant bramble thing tearing apart these buildings. I think that's cool. It's very comic book with the like orange triangle in the middle and then all this kind of like more muted colors in the background. I like that like
Hmm.
strong layering that's going on there. And then I think this effect is really cool and unique. I don't know that it's good, but it's like the kind of thing that makes me want to build a really bad like constructed deck around it. Like for the time, if this triggers once, 6 mana on a 5 mana for 6/6 power on a common feels pretty exciting. So I don't know. I think this card is like super fun. This is
Yeah,
definitely going in the pauper mid 2000s pauper cube that we're building now. Go ahead.
it's going to be really good with Wojek Siren in your Celestia Boros deck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like this one a lot. Like the art is certainly eye catching in a much better way than the last guy we saw, whose name I've literally already forgotten. Like,
Night
I cannot
Night
remember.
Guard
Night
Sentinel.
Night person.
I'm not going to go
Sentinel.
back. We're just going to
No,
gradually get there by over the show.
yeah, I can't remember his name, but this is much more exciting. I like the art. It feels very dynamic, and I think you're right, comic booky, kind of old school, weird, like over the top pose. I like that you can't really like get a good read on what shape this even has. It's sort of like a big bramble dog with antlers going on, but like it's mostly movement and color, and I like that a lot. And yeah, I think you're right. Like 5 mana for a 4/4 was pretty fine back then, or felt
It's
fine back then.
tolerable.
Yeah. And then like you get an aura on this, it's gonna get presumably even bigger or stronger, or get some keyword, and then you get some saplings.
Yeah, the flavor wise, it's kind of interesting too, right? Like magic, it's elementals are magical, auras are like enchanting the creature, literally, and
Hmm.
that makes this sort of like he's already kind of a like a tree thing, right? It makes saplings, it makes more kind of tree like elementally things. So I feel like flavor wise, this is kind of a home run mechanic, like the mechanics flavor tie-in. It really works here.
Yeah, that's a good comment.
Cool little card. Yeah, it does have this kind of weird scale problem of like this looks like a 7/7 to me. Like he is just smashing these buildings to
Mm,
oblivion. As in, that's fine.
yeah,
It
yeah,
doesn't read as
that's seems
what
bigger than
card.
a 4/4.
What size is a 4/4 canonically? How big? So if like a 1/1 is like a human or
Mm.
a bird, and a 2/1 is kind of a dog, and a 2/2 is like an ogre. Like what? Where are you at a 4/4? A dragon is a 6/6.
I feel like if this thing was like the size of a building, like a house size Bramble
Like a ranch
Elemental, that
house.
feels like a 4/4. Yeah, ranch house elemental. That feels like
Yeah,
a 4/4.
I think that's exactly right. I think it's about a house as a 4/4, but not like a skyscraper like this.
Yeah, too much.
All right, Connor, you're up.
Okay, last gasp. One in a black for an instant. Target creature gets -3/-3 until end of turn. And I do like this flavor text. It's allow me a moment to catch your breath.
That's really good.
Uh, I remember being really struck by this card back in the day. I can't. I think probably the art was a big part of it. It's got pretty strong horror vibes. Like this guy, this demure looking guy, is literally sucking the air and life out of this poor Golgari elf. And I remember like that was a very visual, visceral experience for me. As a card, I mean, at least in sealed, like 2 black mana for like very solid removal seems pretty good to me.
I think this is totally on rate for the time, right? This is the time when like
Yep.
terror is about as good as you were like this is pre Doomblade. I remember Doomblade was like
Yeah.
whoa, they can do that? And this is the pre-Doomblade kind of tier of removal. And it's fine. I think there are a lot of times this doesn't do what you want it to do, but that's fine. For 2 mana, I think that's kind of interesting, makes for an interesting play experience.
Yeah. Yeah. Can be removal of a little guy or like lead to a flip a trade and make it favorable for yourself or yeah.
I would kill for this in Kamigawa block cube. Like this would be a very solid pick in the Kamigawa cube.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
like 2 mana
Not
tempo
a lot of
removal.
solid removal going on
No,
there.
this is definitely going into this Pauper cube.
All right.
I don't
I
have
can
anything else
feel
to
you
say. I
starting
like
a
this.
spreadsheet as we speak
That's
here.
what I'm doing. I'll have to decide. It is great flavor text. Also, I just want to double down on what you said there. That's funny.
Yep. Okay.
Barbarian Riftcutter. 4 and an R for a 3/3 human barbarian. R, sacrifice Barbarian Riftcutter, destroy target land. Player text, Riftcutters are suicidal anarchists, waving those lightning axes around so much that the walls are as likely to fall as their foes. Herouge, Celestia Initiate. This is a card I'm sure I've seen a bunch. I have like no feelings about it. I normally like sort of land destroying effects, but the sweet spot for a land destroying effect is not 6 mana. Like this card just sucks.
Yeah. I mean, I guess mana wise, it's basically like a 3 mana 3/3 stapled to a instant stone rain, if you want to
You
be
mean a 5
generous.
mana 3/3?
Well, it's 3 mana plus five another three for the stone rain.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. I'm trying to give
Okay.
it the benefit of the doubt.
So it's Hill Giant plus Stone
Yeah.
Rain at a 1 mana discount. You're saying like this is actually a
Yeah.
screaming deal.
Yeah. You defer that last mana and save a card.
I kind of feel like this could just be sacrificed with no mana activation cost, you know?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
still bad.
To be
Maybe
clear, I
I
don't like this at all. I don't like the art. I remember seeing this a lot and not being happy anytime I saw it because I don't want a 5 mana 3/3 in a red deck.
this is another card I don't think's ever gotten played outside of the most train wreck of sealed decks. It's just the
Yeah.
rate is so bad, even for limited in 2005.
Yeah, this is a desperation pick for sure.
Yeah. Bleh. Should we move on?
But,
I think
yep.
I'm ready for the
Get him out.
uncommons.
Well,
Hello.
you got to get through Woodwraith Strangler first. Two, I actually like this card. 2 black and a green for a 2/2 plant zombie, and you can remove a creature card in your graveyard from the game, also known as exile, to regenerate Woodwraith Strangler. I remember having this in every Golgari deck I built, probably because I just wanted to have every Golgari card
I
that I
remember
could
that because
have.
we had like 7 of each gold card.
Yeah. Yeah. So I wanted to have everything I could have in my, shiny new gold Ravnica deck. I don't think this is a great card, but I like it. It feels like it's doing exactly what I imagine a Golgari card should do. Like it's rewarding you for having stuff in the graveyard and doing a bunch of dredging. Maybe it's not rewarding you as much as some other cards would, but it's doing the
It's no
Golgari
Golgari
stuff.
Grave Troll. It's true.
Yeah, it's still doing Golgari-ish stuff. It's regenerating. It's a plant zombie. It's like sort of rewarding you for having stuff going on in your graveyard. Like it feels like the right common to have in this guild.
Bringing up Golgari Grave Trolls kind of reminding me like there's a lot of things about modern Magic that bum me out. One thing I think is kind of nice from just a player perspective in modern Magic is that the delta between like commons, uncommons, and rares is much narrower than it was back in the day, right? Like this is a set that had Golgari Grave Troll, like a card that was metagame defining in multiple like eternal formats at various points. And it also has Woodwraith Strangler, right? Like you just go from absolute useless cards, sorry, Connor, to like genuinely super interesting, powerful cards. And like I feel like nowadays that band is tighter, right? Like most commons are okay. Most uncommons are actually things where you're like, this could go in a cube or a commander deck, right? Like there's a lot less like you must chase the rares to have any interesting cards. Whereas back then, as you're saying, like we cracked a lot of Ravnica block packs, and by the end of the block, it was still like, I want to put together a Golgari deck from my packs. What do I got? Woodwraith
Yeah.
Strangler, get in the deck.
Yep. I don't have enough grave shell scarabs yet or
Yeah.
grave trolls, but I
Yep.
have 16 Woodwraith Stranglers.
I think this card is like almost okay. I think if this was a 3/2, it would probably like
Hmm.
just kind of make the grade, right? Because like, I don't know, free regenerate is pretty good. Like that can be quite annoying. It's just not like, unless you got an R on here or something, it's like not really doing enough. It's like, who cares? It's just a 2/2.
Yep. Yeah, it's not quite big enough to be more than a minor annoyance.
Yeah. Should we talk about the art though? Because I think this art is really fun.
Yeah, I love this art.
Yeah,
What
I
do you have
love
on it?
the. I just love. He doesn't have an eye patch, but it looks a bit like he's got an eye patch just for.
It really does.
So to me, this is always read as kind of like a plant pirate man, kind of like a very Pirates of the Caribbean feeling. I don't know. I just think it's fun and whimsical and
That,
crazy looking.
that's what I was thinking. This looks like it could be one of the like skeletons from I think the first Pirates of the Caribbean movie that when they're like walking along
Yeah,
the seafloor and you like see
that's
the
a great
moonlight
scene.
shining down and like it's revealed that they're undead.
Yeah.
It's giving that.
If this was blue, like this is all green, which I love. I love magic cards that are entirely monochromatic. If this was all blue, it would totally read as an underwater like tentacle zombie guy.
Yep. And it's got a little bit of like it looks like kind of swampy underwater a little bit.
It's very
Now I'm trying to
underwater.
see it, but
Wait, when did Pirates of the
yeah, I
Caribbean
do
come
like this
out? It
guy.
was like around this time, right? This couldn't have been
I think it
inspired by
was
then.
right around this time.
I'm gonna Google it. Sorry for the typing noises.
To 2003? Is that right?
Working. Yeah, 2000. This no. So two
Is it
year and a half.
2003?
Two. This could be very much inspired by Pirates of the Caribbean, actually.
Could have been.
Interesting. Okay. All right.
Oh.
Pat Lee, if you're listening, let us know. Was this inspired by Pirates of the Caribbean?
All right. Are we at the uncommons yet?
No,
Nope.
still not. All right. Maybe at some
Nope.
point, if we keep this series going, we don't do real packs. We do like four commons. Anyway, Benevolent Ancestor. 2 and a W for creature spirit with Defender and tap. Prevent the next 1 damage that would be dealt to target creature or player this turn. Although the door is flimsy and the lock pathetically small, Josuri's family never fears the night outside. I I don't care about this card.
Mm-mm.
I have nothing to say. Should we just keep going?
Um, I do just want to say I hate the symmetry of the benevolent
Oh
ancestor
my
in
god,
the
you
art.
do hate every time there's a symmetrical card. You're like,
I
hate it.
I can't do it. It's like my eyes just lock onto that, and it drives me crazy.
It is almost perfectly symmetrical, except for the weird hand. Look at his right hand. He's got 2 thumbs. It's like that.
This is kind of it's got a little bit of like early AI image generation going on there.
I don't really get benevolence from this ancestor. I get
No,
like
it's a very threatening ancestor.
very sinister.
I, maybe the Josuri's family never fears the night outside because they're just too busy being afraid of the thing that's inside the house with them.
Ugh. All right.
Okay. Viashino Fangtail, 2 RR for a 3/3 Viashino warrior that taps to deal 1 damage to target creature or player.
Flavor
Um,
text. Flavor text.
all right, let's read these Simic research notes. When the bony terminus gets too large, it's shed from the tail in coinciding periods of
Why?
heightened aggression and hunger. Okay, well, we're just gonna let that lie. Uh, yeah, I don't. This is another one where it's just this and Barbarian Riftcutter and probably Benevolent Ancestor just felt like they were in every single pack I opened,
Wait,
and
but
I
I
just got
like this
so
card.
tired of seeing them.
I like this card. Okay, so
Okay, okay, go ahead.
Tim is 2 and an R, right? So like your
Yep.
basic pinger at this point in Magic is still 3 mana. So for 1 more mana, I get 3/3 instead of 2/1/1. I think that's very
Hmm.
reasonable. Second, I like the art. It's so like extra. Like he is so intense and so pissed off looking. I think it's very funny. He actually, to me, feels a little bit like a Sly Cooper or like Ratchet and Clank or Jack and Daxter. Actually, Ratchet and Clank. This feels like a Ratchet and Clank like
Mm.
guy you're beating up on some random planet. So I like that.
Yep.
Like
Okay.
he's just been like in fact like injected with whatever the like bad guy's serum is that turns
Uh,
ordinary citizens into crazy people. That's what's going on
yeah.
with this
And then
guy.
after you beat him, he's going to go back to being normal.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah,
And then he sits
exactly
down
like that.
like that. So I like that. And I like this is a Simic research notes. And I always thought that was a good like way to just kind of sneak some flavor text in to Magic cards. I like the fake or not sneak some flavor text in. What sneak some lore in
You don't have to sneak it in.
into the flavor text. They do it in Onslaught with the like Riptide research stuff. I think it's a good way to just kind of like talk a little bit about the world from a different tone. I like the weird abstract cityscape background, so I'm going to bat. I like Viashino Fangtail.
Okay, okay. I don't dislike the art. I don't like I don't think it's a terrible card. It's certainly a better Tim. I think I have so many Viashino Fangtails that have come into my life in the past that I'm tired of seeing them. But I love the idea of the Simic research notes, and I know there's other cards that have these too. And there were these hints in Ravnica and then in Guild Pact, like we already knew what the other guilds were going to be and what they were sort of about, but we didn't have any, Simic cards or any Gruul cards or anything in the original Ravnica set. And I always liked these little kind of flavor text hints at what was going on with the other guilds that weren't featured in the first set.
That's an interesting decision in retrospect, isn't it? Like I remember waiting all the way till the end of the block for like Rakdos and stuff and feeling, I guess, sort of disappointed. I don't know why, but it kind of, I don't know, something about it just left me a little cold waiting that long.
Yeah, it was almost like by the time we got to Dissension, like I didn't care as much about Simic or Rakdos or Azorius. It was like, okay, yeah, here's like the last three guilds, and we're going on to another block.
Yeah, that's how I felt. One more thing to say about this card. I was just checking on Scryfall, so apologies for clicking and typing noises to make sure. But this is the first Viashino card since like Invasion. So there were the first ever Viashinos were printed in Mirage. Then there was one in Visions, a couple in Urza block, and then Invasion. And then we get no Viashino through. I mean, what is it for Invasion? After Invasion, we got like Odyssey, Onslaught, Mirrodin, Kamigawa. So this is the first Viashino in like 5 blocks. They brought him back in a big way. There's like 6 in Ravnica.
And on a new plane.
And on a new plane, exactly. The Viashino lived throughout the multi. You can't have a plane without Viashino. That's part of why people hate Mirrodin and Kamigawa.
Yeah. That's why we hate Kamigawa, especially.
Yeah, that's right. This is why Ravnica was more successful than Kamigawa. Oh my god, uncommons. All right.
Oh.
Chant of Vitu-Ghazi, 6 WW for an instant. Convoke. Prevent all damage that would be dealt by creatures this turn. You gain 1 life for each damage prevented this way. Connor, I was so excited to move on to the uncommons, and our first uncommon is an 8 mana fog with upside.
It even looks foggy.
Honestly, my disappointment is so sharp that I'm actually legitimately I'm struggling to think about this card because I can't believe that we waited through 11 commons to get to this 8 mana
I'm just
fog.
too upset.
Can you bail me out, or are we just gonna move on out of disappointment?
I mean, I really have nothing to say about this. It's an 8 mana fog.
It's an 8 mana fog with life gain upside. Like, come on. This, actually, I do have something to say, which this epitomizes the disappointment of white in this like long band of Magic where they've taken away some of the really nasty toys from white, right? Swords to Plowshares and efficient removal, gone. Balance, Armageddon, like these ideas of these like really brutal removal tools, completely gone. Efficient creatures, not a thing at this point in Magic. There's no like, I guess except Isamaru. You're not getting like 1 and 2 drops that like let you curve out. So like what can white do? My memory of learning Magic in Onslaught block and then in Mirrodin and then Kamigawa and then Ravnica is white basically does boring creatures, life gain, damage prevention. I legitimately feel like this is all white did for my first 5 years of Magic.
Yeah,
like,
it's
nothing.
like white is about not losing the game.
Like, what have we seen today? We saw a 3 mana 2/1 with First Strike and Vigilance. We
Mhm.
saw Benevolent Ancestor, and we saw this. So if this is your first ever Magic pack, what you take away is white sucks. White is
Yeah,
really boring.
it's looking bad. Okay, let's see if the next thing bails white
Come
out.
on. I do not remember this card.
I sort of remember it. I remember the art for sure. Indentured Oaf, 3 in a red for a 4/3 Ogre Warrior. There's our Ogre. Prevent all damage that Indentured Oaf would deal to red creatures. Okay. Flavor text, all it knows is the difference between friend and food.
Okay, I do like that. That's some classic red flavor text.
Yeah, I like that. Um, this isn't uncommon. For a 4 mana 4/3 that can't damage red creatures, but can be damaged by them.
Connor, I don't understand. I think sometimes I would think doing all of Kamigawa would prepare me for how Magic cards used to be worse. But is the upside here for the downside that it is a 4/3 instead of a 3/3? Like it's not, it has one more power than Hill Giant. So in exchange for that, it can't damage 20% of the creatures,
I think that's exactly what we're what we're getting here,
which is
and
worse
that
than it
earns it
normally would be because it's a
uncommon.
gold card block. So,
Yeah.
um,
Um, we just see what the last uncommon
no, because
is.
we got to talk about this weird art. Um,
We do.
this art is very to me like mid 90s. Like this looks like art from a
Mm,
very early Magic. Like the way that the oaf and the figure and the background look like three separate paintings is
mhm.
very old Magic art for me.
Yeah, it's they really do. It's like the oaf was painted, and then this figure was separately painted nearby, and then this little line was painted to connect the oaf to the figure in a way that doesn't like this rope is like going under his armpit
Yeah,
there
like,
in a way that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. And it's also extremely thin.
and the scale
Seems
of
like
like the ogre to the person gets a
yeah,
little weird. Like
it's super off. And the background is just like flat and they're just kind of like existing in front of
in
it.
this sort of contextless castle. Like it's
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, what happened with this card? Just in
I
every
genuinely think
way.
this might be a couple of elements like digitally composited. The
Yeah, this is a weird one.
I don't mind the art even despite this. I don't think it's good. Great. I don't think it's good. Anyway, it's fine.
I have nothing more.
Okay. Is this the rare?
All
How
right.
we've done two uncommons, right? We get one
Yeah, I
more.
think that we get one
Okay.
more.
And then you get to do the rare. So here's my last card reading. Carrion Howler. 3 and a black for a 2/2 zombie wolf. I have like 20 of these, by the way. 3 and a black for a 2/2 zombie wolf. Pay 1 life. Carrion Howler gets +2/-1 until end of turn. They chase tirelessly after the bone carts that speed along the streets of the Plague Quarter. Okay, first, I think that flavor text is funny. That's some old school dumb magic humor. That the zombie dog still wants the bones. That's funny. Okay, so it's a 2/2 for 4 that can be a 4/1 for 4, or it can
At the
be a
cost of
zero
just
six
one life.
zero for 4 and die as a state-based action.
Yeah.
Okay. Um,
What do you think?
I feel like all of these uncommons are below rate of a lot of the commons we saw, while not being any more interesting.
Yeah, they all kind of seem like worse than some of the comments we looked at.
Legitimately, I think I would rather have the 3 mana 2/1 first strike vigilance white creature we were just hating on than this thing.
Yeah. At least I can like count on that guy. This
Right.
Carrion Howler feels unreliable.
What does this guy do? Like he's just I guess if your opponent doesn't block, like I guess he poses a little bit of a dilemma. I'm swinging in if your
But
creature
that's
I'm
really
struggling to construct the
you're
dilemma.
struggling. I think because it doesn't really exist.
But
You
you
know
could
what he's
take
gonna be.
4
He's either gonna be a 2/2 or a 4/1.
if your opponent only has 1/1 blockers, there's a dilemma here, Connor, which is they would have to trade 2 of them for the Carrion Howler.
Oh, or they could risk it with just one and see if you pay one life,
Right?
make it a
Right.
4/1 anyway.
Um
This reminds me of. I really wish I could remember what set these were from, but there was a card store you and I used to go to all the time called Hoopla Sports
Hoopla
Cards, I think,
Games, I think, or yeah,
in
Hoopla
Portland.
Sports Cards. Yep, yep.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And there was one time I went there and I bought like one of those white cardboard boxes of cards. It was about that long, and everything in there was like black commons and uncommons from like mid to late 90s sets. And I cannot remember. I think some of them must have been like homelands
Oh,
or
so this
something,
was
but
real dregs of the dregs.
these were like bad cards. They were
Yeah.
just bad cards. And I feel like a lot of them had this kind of like gain power at the cost of toughness type ability. There was some stuff in there that like regenerated or like gave regeneration or something. I kept just thinking like, oh, I'm going to build some cool mono black deck with all these old cards. And then I realized after a while, like these are just all just
Not
unplayably
one of these
bad.
cards is worth playing. Not one.
Yeah, and Carrion Howler would have fit right in.
Yeah. What a.
I wish
I
I
was gonna
could
say what
remember
a.
what sets those were.
I feel like I vaguely remember this too, and I think it was like Homelands, The Dark, Fallen Empires, like
Yeah,
just really, really bad cards.
yeah, just like old black cards that they had swept into a box and then sold for $10 or whatever I paid.
I feel like this pack is a good antidote to some of my nostalgia about Magic in a weird way. That like, I mean, I'm still enjoying this, but it is a reminder that like you used to open a pack and you almost could throw 14 of the cards in the garbage without looking at them in a lot of packs.
Yeah, and maybe even the 15th card. We'll see
Yeah.
if this
Are you
one
ready?
should be recycled. Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Here we go. Whoa.
Oh, okay. You're gonna keep
Ching.
this one. Oh, that's a money card. Okay, Watery Grave. This is a land, island, swamp. Tap to add blue or black. As it comes into play, you can pay 2 life. If you don't, it comes into play tapped instead. So I don't think I need to really say much about the shock land or what these how good these are.
They were a big deal at the
Um,
time, right? Like this
they were a
is
huge deal.
like Kamigawa's fixing is I think we decided nothing, right? That's my memory.
Almost non-existent.
Not
Yeah.
even tap lands, like it just didn't exist. Mirrodin's fixing is I don't think there was any. Like you have the fetch lands back in
Unmemorable. I think
Onslaught,
we could say that. Yeah.
then you have this 2-year drought, and then you have the shock lands. It was like I remember it was a shock. It was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Not that
Yeah.
we
I mean,
had any,
these were a
of
big deal.
course.
This was like, yeah, this was like what you were hoping to pull and what we never did.
I mean, these were like $30 or something at the time. I think these
Yeah.
were money cards.
They were pricey for sure.
They were the second best fixing printed since Alpha, essentially, right? Like this, I mean, if you
Yeah.
think about like Magic fixing, like if you're building a cube mana base, your baseline is going to be shocks, fetches, duels. Like this is
Yep.
these are good cards. I don't know.
Yeah.
We don't have
This
much
is
to
one of the
add.
ones that started it all. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
like what more can we say about Shocklands?
I mean
Okay.
it's
Well, that was a
cool.
big improvement from our uncommons.
Yeah, it was. It's a good name, Watery Grave. I like when a land manages to like really lock in on what it's going to do. No doubt
Yep.
here.
Yep. You could definitely guess which 2 colors this represents from the name.
It's pretty solid art, also.
Yeah. It is cool. Little Golgari-ish.
Actually, you're right. Actually, now you say it, watery. I guess watery. So it's not very demure. The name somehow Watery Grave. What would a demure?
Yeah. The grave part.
Yeah, like library grave, secrets, grave of
Library grave.
secrets,
Yeah.
cemetery of lies,
I like library grave.
library grave. That sounds like something else though. That sounds like
What would
leveler.
that be?
That's leveler. You know the 5 mana whatever 10/10 or something from Mirrodin that when it comes into play you exile your library.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's basically that. That's library grave. Library grave
Okay.
robot.
The leveler rebrand.
Okay, we somehow started reviewing Leveler instead. Watery Grave is great. I
All
don't
right.
think there's more to
Yeah.
say.
Water grave. Okay.
That's it. That's
That's
our rare.
that's it.
I think that's
So
it. Let us know what you think, guys, our listeners. Like this is a new format for us. Was this fun? Was this just like you don't need to care about 8 mana uncommons with no research? Let us know. If you have packs
I
you
mean
want us
we
to
didn't
crack, Huh?
We didn't want to hear about that 8 mana uncommon
No,
either.
that was a real body blow, Connor. Like we were
Yeah.
building up for these uncommons, and then it was just they were all bad. They were all
Every
bad.
single one of them.
They weren't even fun bad.
No, just bad.
Bad. But yeah, if you have packs you want us to crack, let us know. You know, I mean, don't tell us to crack like Bloomborough or something. We probably won't. But if you want us to crack, you know, I don't know, Alara, Fallen Empires, Alpha, like we're here for that.
Really anything between Fallen Empires and Alara, we're probably going to say yes to.
We're gonna do a chronological thing where we open Fallen Empires packs until we've opened every card and we have a complete set. Gonna do 300
Fallen
episodes.
Empires collection log.
What? Okay, hold on. That's actually great. Before we go, Connor, I have a question for you.
Okay.
How much would I have to pay you to eat every Magic the Gathering card in this pack? Let's assume none of them are foil.
Including Watery Grave?
Yeah, you got to eat the Watery Grave too. Let's say it's also 2005. How much would I have to pay you in 2005 $2,005 to eat all these cards, including Watery Grave?
Oh boy, I got to get back into that 2005 mindset.
Locate the party yourself that traded for 2 Russian bronze bombshells at the Guild Pack pre-release.
I don't want to talk about that.
We'll talk about that some other time.
About that right now. I mean, the Watery Grave, that's going to be like $30 right there.
Yep.
How long do I have to eat them all?
Well, that's a great question. Let's say one round of a pre-release.
One match or one game?
No, one match.
Okay, one match.
From pairing to pairing to pairing.
Probably okay. I think back then I probably would have done it for $100.
$100?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot of packs.
That's a lot of packs. That's or 3 Watery Graves.
That's 3 Watery. Oh, and you would have been the coolest kid of anyone we knew if you'd had a playset of any Shockland, because we sure did not.
No.
I think I had like 1 Shockland ever.
Yeah. I think yeah. I got Steam Vents.
That's right. That was a big deal for us.
Pack.
Like as a household, not even just for you.
This was like the news of the year.
All right. That's it for tonight. Thanks so much for listening. Let us know in the comments what you think. If you have fond memories of any of the cards we have trashed today, let us know.
Yep. And see you next time.
All right. See you next time. Good night, Connor.
Good night.